What is up, everybody? We are on day 206 of our Bible in a Year series. We are continuing on in Isaiah, and we're going to be hitting 13, 14, 15 today. And in today's reading, we see Isaiah deliver oracles of judgment against Babylon and Moab. These prophecies reveal God's power over empires and his ultimate justice toward prideful nations. Even in judgment, glimpses of future hope and restoration remain. God's global purposes are on display as he shows himself to be the ruler over all kingdoms, even the ones that don't know it. So let's jump in and begin. Chapter 13. A pronouncement concerning Babylon that Isaiah, son of Amoz, saw. Lift up a banner on a barren mountain, call out to them. Signal with your hand, and they will go through the gates of the nobles. I have commanded my consecrated ones. Yes, I have called my warriors who celebrate my triumph to execute my wrath. Listen, a commotion on the mountains like that of a mighty people. Listen, an uproar among the kingdoms like nations being gathered together. The Lord of armies is mobilizing an army for war. They are coming from a distant land, from the farthest horizon, the Lord and the weapons of his wrath to destroy the whole country. Wail, for the day of the Lord is near. It will come as destruction from the Almighty. Therefore, everyone's hands will become weak, and every man will lose heart. They will be horrified. Pain and agony will seize them. They will be in anguish like a woman in labor. They will look at each other, their faces flushed with fear. Look, the day of the Lord is coming, cruel with fury and burning anger, to make the earth a desolation, and to destroy its sinners. Indeed, the stars of the sky and its constellations will not give their light. The sun will be dark when it rises, and the moon will not shine. It will punish the world for its evil and wicked people for their iniquities. I will put an end to the pride of the arrogant and humiliate the insolence of tyrants. I will make a human more scarce than fine gold, and mankind more rare than the gold of Ophir. Therefore, I will make the heavens tremble, and the earth will shake from its foundations at the wrath of the Lord of armies on the day of his burning anger, like wandering gazelles and like sheep without a shepherd. Each one will turn to his own people, each one will flee to his own land. Whoever is found will be stabbed, and whoever is caught will die by the sword. Their children will be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses will be looted, and their wives. I won't say that for the YouTube censors. So this again is not a prescriptive thing that God is telling people to do. This is a descriptive thing. God is the word is being spoken of what will happen. There's a difference there. A lot of times they'll take these texts like this and they'll say that it's prescriptive, it's God telling them to do something, but it's not. It's descriptive. It's just telling you something that has happened, or in this instance it's a prophetic word of what will happen. Verse 17. Look, I am stirring up the Medes against them, who cannot be bought off with silver and who have no desire for gold. Their bows will cut young men to pieces. They will have no compassion on offspring. They will not look with pity on the children. In Babylon, the jewel of the kingdoms, the glory of the pride of the Chaldeans, will be like Sodom and Gomorrah when God overthrew them. It will never be inhabited or lived in from generation to generation. A nomad will not pitch his tent there, and shepherds will not let their flocks rest there. But desert creatures will lie down there, and owls will fill the houses. Ostriches will dwell there, and wild goats will leap about. Hyenas will howl in the fortresses, and jackals in the luxurious places. Babylon's time is almost up, her days are almost over. Chapter 14. For the Lord will have compassion on Jacob and will choose Israel again. He will settle them on their own land. The resident alien will join them and be united with the house of Jacob. The nations will escort Israel and bring it to its homeland. Then the house of Israel will possess them as a male and female slaves in the Lord's land. They will make captives of their captors and will rule over their oppressors. When the Lord gives you rest from your pain, torment, and the hard labor you were forced to do, you will sing this song of contempt about the king of Babylon and say, how the oppressor has quieted down and how the raging has become quiet. The Lord has broken the staff of the wicked, the scepter of the rulers. It struck the peoples in anger with unceasing blows. It subdued the nations in rage with relentless persecution. The whole earth is calm and at rest. People shout with a ringing cry. Even the cypresses and the cedars of Lebanon rejoice over you. Since you have been laid low, no lumberjack has come against us. Sheol below is eager to greet your coming, stirring up the spirit of the departed for you. All the rulers of the earth, making all the kings of the nations rise from their thrones, they all respond to you, saying, you too have become as weak as we are. You have become like us. Your splendor has been brought down to Sheol, along with the music of your harps. Maggots are spread out under you, and worms cover you. Shining morning star, how you have fallen from the heavens, you destroyer of nations. You have been cut down to the ground. You said to yourself, I will ascend to the heavens. I will set up my throne above the stars of God. I will sit on the mount of the God's assembly in the remotest parts of the north. I will ascend above the highest clouds. I will make myself like the Most High. Now, I believe, and I might be wrong here. I don't remember seeing this while I was reading previously, but I believe this is referencing Satan. Let me double check that before I for sure say it. So some people, I guess, say that this is referring to Satan. So it directly is talking about the king of Babylon, but there are some people that believe that this is talking about it's there's some contextual clues to that. Like where were we at? I will ascend to the heavens. I will set up my throne above the stars of God. I will sit on the mount of God's assembly. In the remotest parts of the north, I will ascend above the highest clouds. I will make myself like the Most High. That seems to be more talking about Satan. But just wanted to throw that out there because that is something that is brought up with different views, and it may kind of depend on what your view is on some of these prophetic books and end times and all that fun stuff. But yeah, okay. Verse 15. But you will be brought down to Sheol, into the deepest regions of the pit. Those who see you will stare at you. They will look closely at you. Is this the man who caused the earth to tremble, who shook the kingdoms, who turned the world into a wilderness, who destroyed its cities and would not release the prisoners to return home? All the kings of the nations lie in splendor, each in his own tomb, but you are thrown out without a grave, like a worthless branch, covered by those slain with the sword, and dumped into a rocky pit like a trampled corpse. You will not join them in burial, because you destroyed your land and slaughtered your own people. The offspring of evildoers will never be mentioned again. Prepare a place of slaughter for his sons because of the iniquity of their ancestors. They will never rise up to possess a land or fill the surface of the earth with cities. I will rise up against them. This is the declaration of the Lord of armies, and I will cut off from Babylon her reputation, remnant, offspring, and posterity. This is the Lord's declaration. I will make her a swampland and a region for herons, and I will sweep her away with the broom of destruction. This is the declaration of the Lord of armies. The Lord of armies has sworn, as I have purposed, so it will be. As I have planned it, so it will be. I will break Assyria in my land. I will tread him down on the mountain. Then his yoke will be taken from them, and his burden will be removed from their shoulders. This is the plan prepared for the whole earth, and this is the hand stretched out against all the nations. The Lord of armies himself has planned it. Therefore, who can stand in its way? It is his hand that is outstretched, so who can turn it back? In the year that King Ahaz died, this pronouncement came. Don't rejoice, all you in Philistia, because the rod of the one who struck you is broken. For a viper will come from the root of a snake, and from its egg comes a flying serpent. Then the firstborn of the poor will be well fed, and the impoverished will lie down in safety. But I will kill your root with hunger, and your remnant will be slain. Wail, you gates, cry out, city, tremble with fear, all Philistia, for a cloud of dust is coming from the north, and there is no one missing from the invaders' ranks. What answer will be given to the messengers from that nation? The Lord has founded Zion, and his oppressed people find refuge in her. Chapter 15. A pronouncement concerning Moab. Ar in Moab is devastated, destroyed in a night. Ker in Moab is devastated, destroyed in a night. Dibon went up to its temple to weep at its high places. Moab wails in Nebo and at Medeba. Every head is shaved, every beard is chopped short. And it's so that is what we're about to read too. Those are signs of mourning. The shaved head, the cut beard, and then the sackcloth that we're about to read about. In its streets they wear sackcloth, on its rooftops and in its public squares everyone wails, falling down and weeping. Heshbon and Elilah cry out, their voices are heard as far away as Jahaz. Therefore the soldiers of Moab cry out and they tremble. So again, and you see this we'll see it in several different places. We'll see it in Jonah when we get there, when they repent after Jonah goes and preaches. They repent of what they were doing, the lives they were living, and they go sackcloth and ashes. And they even in Jonah they have the animals wear sackcloth and they don't eat. And yeah. Verse 5. My heart cries out over Moab, whose fugitives flee as far as Zoar, to Elglath Shelishah. They go up the ascent of Luhith, weeping. They raise a cry of destruction on the road of Horonaim. The waters of Nimrim are desolate. The grass is withered, the foliage is gone, and the vegetation has vanished. So they carry their wealth and belongings over the wadi of the willows, for their cry echoes throughout the territory of Moab. Their wailing reaches Eglam. Their wailing reaches Bir Elam. The waters of Dibon are full of blood, but I will bring on Dibon even more than this, a lion for those who escape Moab and for the survivors in the land. And that is it for our reading for today. But we got questions. We've always got questions. Okay. Question number 1. What does God's judgment on Babylon reveal about how he views pride, power, and oppression? I think we see, pride is one of the things talked about probably the most harshly in all the Bible, New Testament included. Pride is spoken out, and I think we, in the church today, I think we I don't want to say estimate, we undervalue, I feel like that's not the right word either. We don't put a big enough emphasis on pride as what we should. Pride is a very, very, and I'm not talking about, I mean, maybe this is part of it, the alphabet mafia garbage, Pride Month or anything like that. I'm talking about pride of self. That could be what we see with Pride Month, um, but that's not the limited. That's not where it's limited to. Like you can see it other places as well. And pride is a very very serious thing. It's talked about in a very very serious manner, and I don't know why churches don't talk more about it. I think it's because there's other sins that are easier to point out, and they may be messy, but they're easier to point out and see clearly and have a definitive line. This is it. This is wrong. Um, Stealing, lying, uh, sexual sin, things like that. They're a lot easier to clearly define. Whereas pride can be something that's in your heart that you may not even like. Other people, like, they'd have to be really close with you to see. Um, and even then, they may not be able to. But pride is something that is talked about very, very harshly in all of Scripture. Um, Even in the New Testament, we see that. But God's judgment on Babylon reveal part of this. It reveals his stance towards pride, um, and the oppression that they had put the Israel under. We talked about yesterday. God used them as an instrument, but that doesn't excuse what they did. It was still their choice to go in and oppress God's people. Now, God used them having that desire to do that and wanting to do that to correct his chosen people, but that doesn't mean that there's not going to be repercussions for them doing that, and that's fine. That is their choice. They want to do those things. There are consequences for those things. Question 2: how can we reconcile God's justice against nations with His mercy toward individuals? Um, I think maybe with it's an interesting question. I think with nations, it can be harder to get movement or get them to turn or change from what they're doing because you have to sway more. It's not always, even if it's a monarchy, it's not always necessarily as easy as just swaying the king. There may be more to it than that. It may be more difficult, and so maybe that's why God chooses to be more strict with a nation versus an individual. You're only having to change one person, so you don't have to be as like stern, I guess maybe. Um, but I think also with the nations, you can be you can have judgment on a nation while still having mercy on some of the individuals that are in the nation who maybe have repented and aren't going along with everything that the nation wants to do. So there's a mix there, I think. Question 3: what does Isaiah's prophecy against Moab teach us about the consequences of trusting in national strength or false gods instead of the Lord? Very clearly, God is the God, capital G. He's the only one. He's the only one that has the power. He's the only one that has the authority to do anything like this. He has ultimate power and ultimate authority. He's also the only one that deserves to be worshipped. And so, if you are giving that authority or trying to give that authority or power or credit authority or power to something else, or if you are worshiping, giving worship, giving adoration to something else that does not deserve it, there will be consequences for that, and that's consequences that are deserved. So that is, I believe that is it for today. Um, but yeah, good stuff. I'm enjoying the book of Isaiah. Like I said, there's a ton more to it. More than we have time to get into on these daily videos. And Isaiah may be one that I come back to. It's just there's a lot of complicated possible connections and a lot of disagreement on some connections and stuff like that because of it being prophetic in nature. But it's a good book. It's a really good book. So you will enjoy it. I am enjoying it, and I hope you will continue to come back and enjoy it. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, as all those things help the channel grow. If this has been a blessing to you, you can share it with somebody else. It can be a blessing to them, and word of mouth is the best way that podcasts grow as well. So that can be something that helps this channel as well. Come back every single day. We're going to have more content every single day. Bible reading plan. We're going through the Bible an entire year, different teachings, all kinds of just really great biblical sound stuff like that. So you're not going to want to miss it. Come back, subscribe. Thanks. God bless.